Good morning, everybody. Today is Monday, June 12th, and I am back from vacation, and we're going to have another episode of Western Healthcare Exposed today. I would like to discuss how a medical practice works today because I have been called a liar and a money grubber on a Facebook post. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. That doesn't really bother me that I've been called names, but I think there is a misunderstanding of how healthcare works. I wanted to discuss that today. First off, healthcare workers have to have a job just like everybody else. Whether you're a bus driver, school teacher, a plumber, mechanic, whatever, you have to have money to survive and support your family. So first off, just because you're a doctor, nurse, lab tech, secretary, PA, nurse practitioner, radiology tech, whatever it may be, you're doing it because you need a job and you have to have money to live off of. And I think a lot of people forget that if just because you're in healthcare doesn't mean that you don't need money to survive. And I don't know why that's often forgotten, but it is. And many times people expect free care. I think that's probably more often than not, but if you go into a grocery store and you pick up eggs, milk, and bread, and let's just say, for instance, all those are $5 each. So now you get up to the register and it's $15. You can't say, oh, well, I'm not going to pay that $15. I'm only going to pay you $5. And the grocery store clerk has to take it. You either pay the $15 or you don't get your groceries. Doesn't work like that in healthcare. When somebody comes in and we treat them, they get done with their treatment, and if they don't want to pay their copay, they don't pay. Really not much we can do about it. We could stop taking that insurance, and the patient would have to pay cash, but again, nobody's going to come if they have insurance, so they won't pay cash. Insurances don't pay providers. For instance, if somebody comes in and needs stitches because they sliced their hand opening and they were, making a nice fancy dinner, mincing some garlic, and their wife walked in, it's like, hey, I lost my keys again. Guys, you know what I'm talking about there. And you get distracted and now you're mincing your finger. So you come into the doctor and, you have to get stitches and say, maybe that's $100, right? And, we submit that to the insurance company for you. Well, the insurance company's not going to pay us $100. They're going to be like, no, that what you did is only worth $30, and so we're going to get $30 for that. And many times, what we get from insurance companies isn't even enough to cover the medications we use. I don't think people realize that. So we are owning a healthcare practice not affiliated with a hospital is certainly not a way to get rich. And so I just don't think people understand how payments work, and patients get mad when their health care is not free. Well, it shouldn't be free. You should have to pay for a service. I mean, we are providing a service just like anybody else out there, and I believe that people should be compensated for their services they're providing. But many people disagree with that. Nothing I can do about it. But anyway, that's kind of how payments work from an insurance perspective and from a patient perspective. And like I said, often we don't get co-pays from people, and the insurances pay what they're going to pay, which isn't much, and then the bill gets sent to a patient and they don't pay what's left over. They don't think they should have to. They think the insurance should cover it, or they think their care should be free, or whatever it may be. And we don't send patients to collections, so it is what it is. And so another, I guess, a point with this is when people come in, you got varying degrees of what patients want. So let's say somebody comes in and they're acutely ill with maybe they got strep throat. And so you treat them and you give them an antibiotic and they go on their way. Maybe they come in because they have high cholesterol and they need refills on their medicine. And all they want is their refill on their statin, their Lipitor. You give that and they go on their way. So that's one category, or I guess two categories. Well, then you got another category of people that come in and say that they do not want to be treated with pharmaceuticals or medications. They want something more holistic. Well, our practice, we do a lot of that. We do traditional medicine. We do some holistic medicine. We kind of integrate the two together. And so when somebody comes in and says that, and then you start looking at other options for treatment. And your options are typically diet is the best option. That's the first thing to do. And if people aren't motivated enough to change their diet, or maybe they don't want to change their diet and they want to do supplements, I think supplements are the second best option. And so we discussed supplements, and then we discussed some other testing that can be done through some of these other lab companies that don't take insurance, and you have to pay for them. And the supplements, you have to pay for those because the insurance company won't pay for supplements either. And you discuss that with a patient, and they may or may not want it, and that's fine. If they want to pay for it, great. If they don't, that's up to them. But when people come in here and say that they want more holistic care and don't want medication, and you offer that to them, well, that costs money. I don't get these products for free, and so I have to sell them. And people don't like that. They want them for free. Well, I can't give away free product because I have to buy it. It's not marked up a lot. You are certainly welcome to go online and buy products yourself. You can buy peptides yourself. The problem is, if you don't know what you're doing with peptides, you can get yourself into trouble. You may not know how to mix them. You may not know how to dose them. So part of the what you're getting when you buy peptides from a provider is you're getting the service with it of how to dose it, what's it for, how to mix it, and all that stuff. And so I honestly don't think it's too much to ask for people to pay for that service. But if they don't want to, that's fine. You can learn it on your own, and you can buy peptides yourself and figure out where to get them from and things like that. I mean, people obviously have done that in the past, since back in the 90s when this started in the bodybuilding community. But that's up to you. But there's no reason to get mad because you come in and want holistic care and you are offered something outside of the big pharma range, and then are told that insurance doesn't cover it and you have to pay for it. There's no reason to get mad. Just say, okay, I don't want that. That's fine. But if you ask for it, then that's what I'm going to offer you. I do think it's a better way of caring for people and treating people, but that's just me. Many doctors don't think that, and that's fine. So I guess that's all I wanted to talk about today, just to let people kind of know how office runs and what goes on in an office, and a little bit about how payments work and things like that. But if anybody's got comments or questions, feel free to leave them. I will try to answer them for you. If not, I will be back later this week with another episode. Sorry we were off last week, but I was on vacation, and hopefully we'll have several episodes up this week. And I will talk to y'all later. Y'all have a great day. See you.